Hey guys, it's Tim at Pack Practical. Some people have asked how I lube my personal guns, how I keep them running in 3-gun competitions or in training classes. So I thought I'd make a little video to tell you. Since the beginning of time, it seems like the military has always said, you got to keep your guns clean, you got to keep your guns clean. The only way that your rifles will run if it's clean. That's false. I don't know any other way to put it. I've been through training classes where we've put 2,000 rounds, 2,500 rounds through a gun in 2 days. Or even classes when you're just out shooting with friends and you're just constantly just pounding your guns with ammo. Contrary to popular belief, the AR-15 will run if it's dirty. It just will. It has to have lube. There's a couple different ways to do it. You can use a liquid-based or more of a grease-based. Personally, I like to use a grease. This is Coastal Premium High Temp Grease. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it at AutoZone, Advanced Auto, whatever you have near you. Pep Boys even. It's about $3. It's nothing fancy, but it works for what I need it to do. It's got a fairly high dropping point on there, 600 degrees. So you're not going to get your gun up to 600 degrees. So let me just show you how I use it. To save time here, I've already disassembled the AR. Got your bolt carrier, your bolt, your firing pin, your other part that I can't remember the name of right now, and your cotter pin. So what I do to start doing this is I just open it up, and it kind of looks like that. It looks like pudding almost. I just take some of it, and I'll start off with the bolt around the back here. I'll put a little bit of grease around it. You don't have to put a whole lot, but just enough to get it going, because that's where the majority of the turning in there, inside the carrier. And then I'll just put just a little bit of bolt, or a little bit of grease rather, just right around the outsides of it here. And if you look on your own bolt at home, you can see where there's a machine spot around there where there's I don't really know what the right word is, but you can see exactly where where it rotates inside the bolt carrier. So now that we have that done, put it up, and I actually take my little finger or you know, whatever you need, and actually put it down inside the bolt. I don't know if you guys can see that here, but just a little bit to keep it running. You're not going to hurt it. Yeah, it'll look a little bit nasty when you put it back in, but it's not going to hurt it. Then I just take to finish up the bolt. You've got your 4 rails. You got one here, one on the other bottom side, one on the top near the gas key, and one on the other side. Just take a little bit. I cleaned this gun just so it would be kind of more noticeable to see what I was doing here. This particular gun is a 10.5-inch LMT. It's a registered short barrel rifle, and more often than not it is shot with a suppressor on it. So as best I can remember, I've got about 23 to 2,400 rounds through this one. It hadn't been cleaned, and it still runs just fine. So after I get 4 rails right here, some people may stop there. I don't. I go a little bit further just because what I do has always worked for me. I'll go ahead and take it up in here, and I actually just get the whole bolt on the back of it. This happens to be a semi-auto carrier, so it's a little bit lighter than some of the other ones, but you're not going to hurt it. You're not going to put too much on. I just throw some all along the sides of it, this grease right here. And what happens is this grease stays put. It's not like an oil where when your gun gets hot that the oil will just burn off. This won't burn off. It'll just stay right where it needs to be. It smells a little funky, but you know, you can get over it. Take your locker right here, and I just put just a little bit around that. Anything that can keep some lubricity there that will keep the gun running is what we're going after. So it's just a little extra added benefit. I'll even go over and grab the charging handle here. Just this doesn't really make the gun run any better, but I like the feel of the charging handle when it has lube up on it, so it's not, you know, going back and forth when you're trying to charge the gun. And just throw a little on the top, and you know, I mean, you can use too much if you're just, you know, being kind of crazy with it. Obviously, you don't need a quarter-size glob on this, but putting it on there, and then once the gun gets nice and hot, it'll actually do that. So you come back up and you just start assembling your carrier here, and you know, not too terribly hard. And basically, that's what I do with this one. Moving on to the upper, my hands are kind of dirty, so I'm not going to attempt to do all that real quick right now. But let me pick this up. And another thing that I do that some people don't is I actually put lube, the grease rather, inside the carrier. So I'll get a big glob on my finger and just turn the carrier over and actually just stick it all up in there, and just, you know, as far as you can stick your finger in there on both sides. You're not going to put too much in there, I promise. And basically what that does is anywhere where this bolt comes into contact with the upper, you're going to have proper lubrication there. Now let me, you know, go back in here up towards the bottom and over towards the ejection port and put some in there. This is not the way the military does it. This is not the way that a lot of people would have you do it. But there are a lot of trainers out there. There are a lot of good shooters and competition shooters, people that really know what they're doing. This is what they're using. So I can say that it works because I've tried it, and this is what I've been using for ages. So there you have it. Lube up your bolt. I mean, you put lube everywhere. Then one of the other products that I like that you can actually use if you get out to the range and it's a little bit dry even still, is a product called Militech. I really like it. This is not an advertisement for them. I don't get anything from them, but it works on my guns. I use it. You can use Slip 2000, or there's numerous other products that you can use. I personally like Militech. I think I got this bottle at the SHOT Show. I'm not sure, but a little goes a long way. And what you can actually do is bake it into the material, into the parts, where when you heat the gun up, it'll actually absorb a little bit of it into the metal, and it stays there. And every time that you apply more and it gets heated up, it stays in there and it almost impregnates the material. So that's how I lube my gun. You know, I'll put it all back together here in a second, but that's how I do it. It may not be right and it may not be wrong, but it's what works for me. And I hope you've learned something from this. If I'm doing it wrong, email me, let me know, kimbershooter@gmail.com. But be sure to check out the website at packpractical.com and check out our Facebook page. Thanks, and have a great 4th of July.